Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, and today we are going to talk about a topic that I get asked about really often. What is the difference between keto and paleo? Also, side note, I am filming this in my truck. I'm a little messed up right now because I am out of town because of the hurricane. So this is going to be my filming studio today, guys. All right. So a lot of times when I talk about keto, one of the first questions out of people's mouths is, so is that kind of similar to paleo? Is keto paleo? What's the difference? And while there are some similarities between the two ways of eating, there are some major differences that distinguish the two from one another. Let's define what keto is and what paleo is, and then we will go into what are some of the major differences between the two. When you hear about paleo, you hear it referred to as the caveman diet. If cavemen didn't eat it at one time, it is off limits. In a nutshell, paleo is the exclusion of processed foods, refined sugars, and grains from your diet. It runs on the guidelines of eating what our hunter-gatherer ancestors once were foraging for out in the wild. So such as like meats and seafood and fruits, nuts, veggies, basically stuff coming from the earth that has not been touched or refined in any way. Now let's talk about keto. What exactly is keto? Keto is a diet that is based primarily on the consumption of fat, moderate amounts of protein, and very little amounts of carbohydrates. And the goal of a keto diet is getting your body to enter a metabolic state of ketosis. And in this state of ketosis, your body is burning fat for fuel. When you're consuming a very limited amount of carbohydrates, your body will have an absence of glucose, and that's normally what your body runs on, is sugar and carbs. And when you remove those from your diet, such as in a ketogenic diet, your body has to go somewhere else for fuel, so it starts using fat as its main source of energy, and that is when you're entering this metabolic state of ketosis. Now that we have talked about what exactly keto is and what is paleo, we are going to talk about a couple of the main differences in keto and paleo. Number one, the amount of fat. Keto puts a much larger emphasis on the consumption of fat. Usually 70 to 75% of your daily food intake should come from fat. While in paleo, fat intake is important, it is not as important to hit a certain amount of fat. Not trying to strive for that 70% of fat in your diet. Number two, the amount of carbs. In keto, carbs are kept very, very minimal, about 20 grams of carbs or less per day. In paleo, while it is considered kind of a low carb diet, it is not nearly as extreme as keto is. Number three, processed foods. In keto, while it is normally a very high quality diet, there is a lot of processed foods that have been made keto, such as like pork rinds and stuff that comes in packages that's still very low carb and fits into the keto diet. However, when you're doing paleo, most of those processed foods and refined foods, those are a no, because you're eating what the caveman once ate. Stuff that comes from the ground, stuff from animals, and these whole natural food sources, not anything processed. Number four is dairy, and keto and paleo differ very much in the dairy department. In paleo, dairy is a no-go, it is excluded. However, in keto, dairy is actually a very good source of fat, such as heavy creams and butters and cheeses. Those are very good sources of fat and are usually encouraged to be eaten on a ketogenic diet. Number 5, fruits. Keto and paleo differ only slightly in the fruit department. When you think about fruits, they do have a large amount of sugar in them. Even though people are always like, it's natural sugar, it's still sugar. So in keto, fruit is very, very limited, usually to only berries, and usually in very much of moderation, because a handful of berries can be your entire amount of carbs for the day. However, in paleo, fruits are a little bit more allowed. There's a couple more fruits that fit into the paleo diet than keto. Number 6 is veggies. In paleo, some of the higher carb content veggies are encouraged, such as pumpkin, squash, potatoes. Those are veggies with a bit of a higher carb content. And in keto, those root vegetables that are higher in carbs are discouraged, because a couple of bites of them will put you over your carb limit for the day. Those are 6 of the major differences between keto and paleo. Your next question might be, which one is better? And I cannot make that decision for you. I follow keto, but I have seen so many people that paleo has totally changed their lives. It's all about finding what works for you and what is going to become a lifestyle change. Because this isn't a diet, this is a way of life. You're not going to eat keto for 3 weeks and just, go back to eating your normal way and expect to keep that weight you lost off. This is a lifestyle change for both of these diets. I hope this kind of cleared up a couple of the major differences between keto and paleo. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I will see y'all again real soon with another video. Bye guys! Mwah!